Hey everyone, this is Turd Flinging Monkey, and welcome to part 5 of the Red Pill Grief Cycle. This is a series I haven't really touched since last year. I think it's actually been over a year. The last one was part 4, which was published June 9th, 2017. So it's been a little over a year since I added to this series. And what inspired me to add to this series was a video I watched, which I'm going to dissect. But it's kind of interesting because the last chapter in this series was called Breaking Through Rage, which was about helping people overcome the red pill rage. And this one is about breaking through depression, which is the stage after the rage. So it's kind of interesting. We're moving through the grief cycle. So I'm calling this chapter the Blue Chute, and this takes its name from the game Chutes and Ladders. It's a very simple game. You either roll dice or you spin. I don't remember. It might be both. But you basically move along a game board. You literally just move along the game board. There's no strategy. And if you land on a ladder, you get to skip spaces. If you land on a chute or a slide, you go backwards. And it's just a very simple child's game. It's pretty much kids' first board game. And it just allows them to, follow directions. It's not like super competitive. It doesn't involve a lot of strategy. But there's one spot near the end of the game. It's this huge long slide that'll basically take you to the beginning of the game. So you're really far ahead, you're about to win the game, you land on that slide, takes you all the way back to the beginning. And basically, if you land on that spot, you lost. And likewise, there is a space when you are trying to get out of the valley of suicide, when you're trying to move towards self-actualization, that if you're not careful will take you all the way back to the beginning, all the way back to denial. So I'm going to dissect a video from Boogie2988, which is a channel I've talked about a couple times, and I like the guy. I'm subscribed to him, I watch his videos, so he's been through a lot. So you're going to see kind of him talking about where he is right now.
But unless you knew me in real life, unless you were my roommate or one of my best friends, you wouldn't know exactly how bad things have gotten. My depression is insane. It's difficult to get out of bed. It's difficult to function. But for me, depression has always been about numbness. It's always been about not being able to feel positive or good things. And I'm just going to be honest with you, even the best things in life that used to fill me with absolute incredible pleasure, traveling to VidCon and meeting fans or eating a delicious piece of food used to be one of my favorites, which is something I can't do anymore. Or playing video games or spending time with family or friends or even spending time with my dog. They do little to nothing when it comes to turn to joy. I basically, happiness, joy, those are feelings I just can't feel right now. And I don't know the last time I felt them.
Alright, so Boogie is going through very severe depression. This should sound very familiar to those who have been through the valley of suicide. This is when you're not angry at the world, you're just completely joyless. You feel like you're dead inside. This is why I call it the valley of suicide. This is where a lot of guys, they just end it because they just want the pain to stop. They just want it all to go away. And so they take themselves out and it makes the pain stop.
I've tried to push it. I've tried to express it. I've tried to force myself into it. I've tried to fake it till I make it. It just has not been working. On a happiness scale, I can get up to like a 1. and then the rest of the time, I'm pretty much numb or depressed or angry or sad or miserable. And that's what the last 10 months of my life have been like.
Because Boogie is talking about how his hobbies aren't giving him joy anymore. I've talked about this and mentioned this a couple times in videos, and people act like I'm attacking hobbies. Like when I say that hobbies aren't going to give your life meaning and purpose, you need more than just, watching anime, playing video games, and jerking off. And people attack me. They say like, oh, I'm attacking hobbies. I'm not attacking hobbies. I just know from personal experience, just like Boogie's finding out now, that hobbies cannot fill that void in your life. When your meaning and purpose is taken away from you and you find yourself in crippling depression, hobbies are not going to pull you out of that. You need to find a new purpose which gives your life meaning. Jerking off to anime and playing video games is not going to give your life meaning. Even being a famous YouTuber with millions of subscribers and being invited to VidCon and rubbing elbows with people, even that doesn't give your life meaning. And this is what Boogie's learning. Again, I'm not downing hobbies. I'm just saying they are not the answer. They're nice. They're a nice bonus. But you need to have the meaning and the purpose behind that to pull yourself out of this joyless void that depression puts you when you've had your meaning and purpose taken from you.
Right about the time I finally went live with my marital problems last July, there was a certain group of people who just locked onto that and latched onto it and did everything they could to get in my face about it. Not just Twitter or the comment section, but sending me emails, doxing me, sending me phone calls, stuff like that, that just were very, very involved in seeing that little chink in the armor, seeing that little bit of blood in the water and trying to capitalize on it. The reality of it is, it really at first didn't do much because I was so miserable because my marriage was failing. I was getting ready for this surgery, this life-altering surgery. Then I was recovering from the surgery. Then I was recovering from the divorce. I was so low on the pain scale anyway. Nothing they could do could really affect me. But as I've begun to improve in the last 3 to 4 months, it started to suck. It started to really, really suck, especially right about the time I did the H3 podcast and the entire internet was mad at me for a couple of weeks. That was really, really, really difficult. So at the Creator Summit last year, I talked to a lot of creators about this. And I also talked to other creators about it at E3 and other gaming industry people and other people who deal with this stuff every day at VidCon. It was the topic that I talked about with everyone. And without fail, and I don't want to talk about anybody's business here. I'm not here to dox anybody or share something they said to me privately. But without fail, this has been a hugely increasing problem in their lives as well. Even some of the most beloved creators on the internet have told me that this is some of the most frustrating stuff they deal with, that there's this large market of very, very critical, very, very angry, very, very mean people who are there to try to make them miserable for some reason. And the problem has just persistently gotten worse in the last year for everyone. I thought it was just me. I thought it was my paranoia. I thought I was just focusing on it more because of my divorce and because of my mental state. It just seems like that's the way the world is changing right now. The world is genuinely just getting worse in that regard. People are finding out that it's okay to be as rude as they want to be on the internet, and people are frustrated, people are irritated, they're angry, they're sad, they're lonely, they're disenfranchised, and they attack. That's just the world we've built, and that's what Friday's video was about more than anything else. It's just, that's the world we've made, that's the bed we lie in. There's not much we can do about it anymore.
Now, this is what I call the blue chute. This is that slide I was talking about when I was discussing chutes and ladders. There's a spot where Boogie basically came to a fork in the road. He had two choices. He could choose the hard path, which is to walk away from his previous meaning and purpose and discover a new meaning and purpose for his life. I can't tell him what that is. He's going to have to figure it out for himself. And that could be scary. He's tried using his hobbies. He's tried, pouring himself into his work, making content, being a YouTuber. It's not working. So he needs to try something else. I don't know what that something else is. I'm not Boogie. I can't tell him what his answer is because it's his answer for his life. What I can tell him is that he's going to have to do it or he's never going to get out of this hole. Now, the other answer is the easy answer. What is the easiest thing for people to do when they have problems? It's to blame someone else. He can't take responsibility for what his ex-wife did to him. He can't take responsibility for what his mom did to him when he was a child. But he needs to take ownership of his life. He needs to basically let the past be the past. Let the pain that made him the man he is today be part of him, but determine to change to be the man he wants to be, not the man that the world has made him. And the only way you're ever going to do that is if you, A, stop blaming the world, though even if the world fucked you in the ass, it's your life. You have to take responsibility for it. You have to make the most of what you have, because all you have is all you have. The world doesn't give a shit. So getting mad at the world isn't going to accomplish anything. While at the same time, don't blame yourself and get depressed because, people are criticizing you. Again, you need to be your only judge. I've talked about this many times. The problem with Boogie is everything is about external validation with him. This is why he white knights for women who pick on him, like Anita Sarkeesian, when she basically bullied him and he white knighted for her. He's an extreme people pleaser. And he is a sweet guy. But you can see what it's doing to his life. This external validation is destroying his life. It's destroying his happiness. I mean, how many people would love to have a YouTube channel with millions of subscribers, to have the kind of audience he has? And he has that, and he's miserable.
I am fully aware of the situation I'm in right now. I am fully aware of the damage that I've done to my reputation, to my channel, to myself. I am fully aware of the stupid mistakes I've made, and I finally think I have a solution how to get out of this stuff. Now, there's not much I can do about the depression. There's not much I can do about the paranoia and the anxiety, but I can definitely stop reading that negative, awful stuff every day. I can definitely stop looking at the emails and stop answering the random phone calls and just ignore it. I can just ignore it, and that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm just going to be over it. I managed to get through the whole weekend without even thinking about it, and I'm hoping I'll get through the rest of the week, and then the rest of the month, and then the rest of the year, and hopefully that will put me into a better place mentally, even though I'm dealing with a lot of other stuff still. That is, I think, even compared to the divorce, compared to the broken arm, compared to everything else, that was still the hardest thing I was dealing with. That stuff is really, really hard. It is really awful.
And now he has a choice. He can find a new meaning and a new purpose, find a mentor to help him, along the way until, like a baby bird, he learns how to fly on his own, and then he goes his own way and becomes a self-actualized man. That's one path he can take. Unfortunately, that's not the path he's chosen. He's chosen the path of the blue chute, which is going to take him all the way back to denial. And what he's doing is he's saying he's not going to listen to you. You're a troll. You don't make him feel good. So he's going to ignore you. And he's going to only listen to people who love him. He's only going to listen to the people who validate him. He's going to close himself off in his echo chamber because he thinks that's going to lead to happiness. It will not. It will not lead to happiness. It will only lead to frustration, anger, and depression. What will lead to happiness is internal validation and self-actualization, which can only come if you love yourself, move forward, and choose to find a new meaning and purpose and stop giving a fucking shit what people think about you.
But I want to make it abundantly clear for those of you who criticize me, for those of you who have had something valid to say critically, or even for those of you who are just very, very angry and want to see me destroyed or want to see me blow my brains out or whatever it is you're trying to do, I have heard you. I've spent the last 6 months listening to you. I got it. I understand it. And now I'm done. I've apologized. There's not much more I can do. Now I'm going to focus on the people that love me instead.
If you're miserable, if you don't remember the last time you were happy, you need to stop doing what you're doing and do something different. Because if you keep doing the same thing expecting a different result, that's the definition of insanity. Try something else. If it doesn't work, try something else. Do different things until you find what makes you happy again. But do it with an eye towards something meaningful that gives your life purpose and meaning, not what people like. Stop chasing the phantom of people liking you, of people validating you, people giving you thumbs up and telling you they love you. Anyway, that's all I have to say. So I doubt Boogie's ever going to watch this video, but for anyone who's in a similar position, who finds themselves more or less stuck in the valley of suicide, just in depression, can't remember the last time they were happy, please continue on. Continue to search for your meaning and purpose. Do not chase external validation. Do not take the blue chute back to denial. Continue on and go your own way. This is Turd Flinging Monkey. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.